Today, I'll be going over what cancer is and the various types and causes of it. Cancer is defined as a general term for disease caused by cells that divide in an uncontrollable fashion. Disease is an abnormal condition of an organism which interrupts a normal bodily function that often leads to feelings of pain and weakness. So how do cancer and disease relate to each other exactly? Specific genes code for the way our cells function, including their growth and division among other things. When these genes malfunction, certain cells may begin to divide and spread beyond the control of our body. As cancerous cells spread uncontrollably, they not only take up space and nutrients, but also obstruct the normal functions of surrounding tissue. There are three main types of cells where cancer develops. There are the epithelial cells, which are a type of cell that lines the surfaces of the body, such as skin or blood vessels. Around 80 to 90% of cancers develop from epithelial cells and are classified as carcinomas. The next most common are blood and lymphatic system cells. Around 7% of cancers develop from these cells and are classified as leukemias and lymphomas. The least common are connective tissue cells. These cells connect, support, bind, or separate other tissues and organs. They are only responsible for about 1% of cancer, and cancer that develops in these are called sarcomas. Looking at the similarities and differences between different types of cancers, all cancers have in common that they involve defects that activate certain proteins that cause the cell to grow when the protein should not be active, and they also involve defects that stop tumor suppressor genes from shutting down the cell cycle. The differences lie in the time of onset, the growth rate, the lethality, the types of cells affected, and the cause of the cancer. To give some background information on cell division, social control is when cells divide in response to signals from other cells. Social control is based on growth factors, which are small proteins that stimulate cell division. Cells should only divide when necessary or beneficial to the organism. Cells may begin to become cancerous at the G1 checkpoint phase. This happens when social control fails and the cells divide without a signal from growth factors. This can be from the overproduction of G1 cyclin or a defective RB, which is a tumor suppressor gene. One type of cancer are tumors. Tumors are defined as an abnormal mass of tissue that results from excessive cell division that is uncontrolled and progressive. Not all tumors, however, are cancerous. In order for a tumor to be cancerous, it must be invasive. When a tumor does become invasive and begin to spread uncontrollably around the body, this process is called metastasis. The two different types of tumors are malignant, which are cancerous, and benign, which are non-cancerous. Some characteristics of malignant tumors are that they are invasive and spread via the bloodstream or lymphatic vessels. These tumors can spread around the body, creating multiple tumors in different areas, which is why it is important to diagnose and find tumorous masses as quickly as possible. Benign tumors are non-invasive, so they are non-cancerous. These tumors can be relatively harmless depending on where they form. Cells can begin to become cancerous from environmental or genetic factors. Environmental factors that can cause cancer usually originate from carcinogens. Carcinogens are substances and exposures that can lead to cancer. Carcinogens do not necessarily affect the DNA directly in that it doesn't change its structure, but it may lead to cancer in other ways, such as causing cells to divide at a faster rate than normal, which could increase the chance that the cells malfunction. While the environment influences most cancer cases, genetics can play a role in cancer. Only about 5 to 10% of cancers are genetic though. The cancer itself is not passed on, but an abnormal gene that can lead to cancer can be passed on, such as a mutated tumor suppressor gene, which could very likely lead to cancer. Three most common causes of cancer are smoking tobacco, poor diet and physical activity, and radiation from the sun. Smoking causes most cases of lung cancer, whether from primary or secondhand smoke. Cigarettes have over 250 carcinogens, which begin to damage your lung tissue. Initially, your body will try and fix the damaged tissue, but as you continue to smoke, your cells become more and more damaged. Eventually, the damage may cause your cells to act abnormally and cancer can develop. Even though smoking does not always lead to lung cancer, it is still very harmful to your lungs if it becomes a habit. Being overweight increases the risk of many different types of cancer. The main way that it does so is that when you are overweight, your body produces more estrogen and insulin, and these hormones can stimulate cancer growth. The final, most common cause of cancer comes from UV radiation from the sun, which is actually the main cause of skin cancer. The sun radiates three types of UV rays that can harm our skin. UVB, which is responsible for most sunburns, UVA, which penetrates deep into our skin, and the third type that is actually the most dangerous is UVC, but it is luckily blocked out completely by the ozone layer. The UV rays damage your DNA, and just getting sunburned shows that the DNA has been damaged in some capacity.